Hey everybody. Sorry, I'm a couple minutes late, but you know me. Um, I don't know if you'll recognize me. The hair, right? So I cut 12 inches off, and it's doesn't really looks pretty sad actually. What's left over? It's used to be like 3 times that much, but um, it's something. And hopefully, I'm going to send it to Wigs for Kids, and hopefully they will be able to use it with other people's hair and make something. Oh, thank you. I'm glad you like it. It's so funny. I walked into the library. You know, that's one of my other jobs. Walked into the library, and I was wearing a mask, and because you're supposed to in the library, and the one lady that I've known for years, she's like, "Can I help you?" I'm like, "It's June." And then another lady who, she heard my voice, she recognized my voice, but then she's like, "I saw you there, but I didn't know it was you." So yeah, so thank you. They said I look younger, so I don't know. I guess that's pretty sad because I think I still look very old, but I must have looked ancient with my longer hair. I know it wasn't any particular style, but this is kind of a lot lighter and fluffy, and the little bit gets in my face a little bit, but you know, maybe it's a grown-up hairdo, right? So anyway, so I'm glad you're here with us. I'm glad you like what you see so far. I mean, you're not going to see much after this though. So I'm going to, I still could do a part 3 on this stamp set bundle that we're going to do. All squared away. I didn't even use the stamps again. I just used the dies again. So, but that's fine. There's, you know, tons. Maybe I'll do a part 3. I don't know. All right. So if, you know, without ado, I will make you go, you know, let you see the desktop. Thanks, Nancy. I'm glad you like it. Yes, our friend Julie is in Facebook jail. She texted me today and said, just let you know that I'm going to be there. And so, hi, Julie. I imagine you are there. But she cannot comment tonight. So I appreciated her telling me that. And well, Jill probably heard the story too, but, and I hope it's okay that I'm sharing this, Julie, but she was standing up for a bully, or standing up for someone who was being bullied and got called a bully basically by Facebook, and the appeal didn't work. I'm mad on her behalf. So I'm glad she went ahead and, you know, stood up for that person who was, being bullied basically. Thanks, Mom. Thanks for that. All right, so here we go. I'm going to, where's my button? Here we are. I know, so awkward. All right, so, oops, here we go. I always use that in like my little corner. Ugh. So hopefully there, that ought to work. All right, savings are in bloom, and only for another week or so. So I wanted to make sure you know, if you haven't already taken advantage, that things are 20% off, and some really, really nice stuff. So this is the bundle we're going to be using today, and this has never been on sale before. This is a relatively new item, and it's very cute, and it's fun, and I wasn't going to get it originally. I'm so glad I did. I ended up getting it when we had a really big order, and I was able to get it for half off, but $48 is better than $60, so take advantage while you can. Also, the shipping is going to be going up, not by a lot, but a little bit, starting April 1st, so this would be a good time to take advantage of that. And as always, I don't want to be any kind of, you know, pressure or anything, but if you're already thinking of getting it, like I know Nancy got this, and she was already thinking about it. So I'm really glad she got it, and I don't know if you, let me know, Nancy, if you already received it and you have used it. You'll get yours in a couple days. Okay. So you'll have a great time when you get it though. So I just ordered new plates because mine are getting a little worn out. I've been using it so much. But these aren't the only things that are on sale. All of these things are on sale. I know I mentioned it last time, but just in case there's any new people tuning in, this is all on the website. Here is youcanstamp.com. And if you are ordering less than $150, I humbly request if you could use this host code, because every little bit counts, and the more free points that I can get, the the more stuff I can show you. All right. So, all right, enough about that. But like I said, I like to save money, and I like people to save money and get the best chance that they can. Okay, so this is the stamp set. We are going to be using the dies more. I really love these. And the words. I'll use the words. So, all right, first stamps. Oh, by the way, so this was the card, one of the cards I did last week, and I am just in love with it, if I do say so myself. It's so simple, and I'm like, I gotta do more of simple. All right, so that's what I'm hoping, that the cards I do today are more simple than I have been. All right, let's see. So, actually, I came up with this like 5 minutes ago, so let me cut this one paper, and then we can... Okay, along with the simple. So this is Bermuda Bay. So, oh, and by the way, Jill, thanks for relaying that Julie likes my hair. It's really different, isn't it? I mean, I've been growing it for years. The lady at Great Cuts asked, have you been here before? I'm like, gosh, I can't even remember the last time I got my hair cut in a salon. And oh, that too. They cut it for free. If anyone's ever thinking about it, you should. They cut your hair for free if you donate to Wigs for Kids, and they braid it into like 4 braids for me, and cut it, and they style your hair. She asked me if I wanted it layered, and I really should have taken advantage of it because it was still wet and it was curly, and I was like, no, it's fine. It looks, but then I got home and it was dried, and I'm like, this looks stupid. So I ended up spending the next hour or so trying to give myself a haircut, doing the layering. And it is hard to do it on yourself, as probably some people can vouch. But I think I did it. And I think having curly hair really does, have an advantage there, because it's forgiving, right? If you're off a little bit, it's not like, springs a little bit more, right? So, but I noticed too, like when my son Ben came in the other day, his hair is really curly like this. It's shorter, obviously, but it's more on the top. But I was like, hey, we have matching hair now. Because my hair had gotten so straight and long. I don't know. I always wanted straight hair, thick hair. And I like my curly hair, I'll be honest. Thinking back about it, just like my name. I didn't like my name for years, and then I do like my name. I'm the only June, one of the only Junes ever. So, back to this. I'm talking too much. We were just talking about how some of these demonstrators talk a lot before we get started. So, all right, here is the mini cut and emboss. So the first thing I'm going to do, and like I said, I'm just overwhelmed, full of ideas for this. I think I'm going to do this one. And honestly, this is the one I came up with 5 minutes ago. So, you might have to work with me a little bit. But sometimes the last minute ones are actually the best. Ooh, I should have done it. So, by the way, did you hear that big crack? One way to avoid that in the future is to do it kind of at an angle. So you see how I did this straight on? If I would have tipped it like this, here, let's move this so that, okay, if I would have tipped it like this so that the corner came, oh, it would help be on the screen. If I would tip this like this instead of like this, it wouldn't have made that big cracking sound, and I don't know how much damage it really does. It seems like it's okay, but it does go better through if you go with the corner first. So I did not do that as demonstrated. All right, so I have punched or die cut this out of white cardstock. And then I also, so here is some paper from the Hostess bundle, or not bundle, pack of paper. It's only hostesses can get this, exclusive. I believe it is $30 worth, so 17, and it's at the back of the annual catalog, and there's so many awesome choices. I used this for the last one, but I used the black and white side. So all these different choices. There's some colorful sides, and then there's the black and white versions of all sorts of things. So I'm using this rainbow side. All right, and I was going to do this with the petal pink here, where there's quite a bit of it, and it would have looked great, but I already am doing a petal pink card, and so I'm like, you know what, let's do something a little bit brighter. Oh, so I also did this, and I was going with the strips. Hey, you guys remember that kind of Jell-O that it was like rainbow Jell-O, and then it was like a layer, it was, oh gosh, what did they call it, like 7-layer Jell-O? I don't know what it's called. If you remember, put it in the comments. But so it was Jell-O, and then like a layer of sour cream kind of mixture, some kind of thing. And then it was another color. And then it was, I remember having it at my mom's friend's pool party picnics. That was really labor intensive, but it tasted good and it was really pretty. So that reminds me of that. But I was going with that little white edge there, and I wanted to make a little white edge around it. So now I've discovered this is just the right size, that if you want a little border around it, you can make it 2 inches. This is like 1 7/8 or something like that. So what I ended up doing, this paper is 2 1/4, and the white around it is 2 3/8, if anybody's writing this stuff down. Okay, so I can just attach that. So lots of ways to use adhesive. I've got the Stampin' Seal and this. So yeah, Mom ought to know the name of that Jell-O, because I think she probably was the one that made it. All right, so there I have it. And then this is going to go on top. Now I'm thinking, maybe I'll raise that up a little. Oh, you know what? I really should have done this. Oh, yeah. I've done this before to demonstrate. Would this fit? Just barely. Got these little scraps. Well, that one would. Okay, so that would probably be the best bet. I'm excited now. All right, except I can't find the scissors. Scissors, here we are. All right, so I'm sure I've shown you this before, but this is this foam sheet that we have, and it's basically like the dimensionals, but a sheet of it.
It's 7-layer Jell-O.
7-layer Jell-O. I was right. Okay, James knew it. So I remember. Yeah. I guess it's like what it is, right? Okay, so all right, now I need another piece of white because I used that. Nope. I got all sorts of scraps. Let's see. But none that are the right size. So here is 2 inches. And I'm going to peel that off. Put that right here. And then I'll cut this off. I think I demonstrated this not too long ago. All right, so take two. Should I do this one? Why not, right? Okay, so this is going to go through. Let's do it the way that doesn't make the crunching sound. See if that. Okay, so if I put it in diagonally. All right, and let's put this on top. Okay, so it does have to squish more of it, but fortunately the foam does that, so I just need to, there's a little, there. Okay. Yeah, I think for like 2 weeks ago we did something. Okay, so let's take this off. But this is going to be easier when you've got really skinny things to attach. It's really easier to punch out the whole thing. Okay, and then we'll get this. Actually, I think I could do this. Yeah. This will work. Actually, this is a big piece. I could punch that. Because I could use these for, like, dimensionals. Okay. So, now I have, the whole thing is going to be popped up. All right. So now I wanted to do simple stamping, so that's still relatively simple, right? Let's see, words. Happiest birthday to you? Or I think I had these other words and I didn't use them. The best thing about today is you. Let's use that because I don't think I used that last time. All right, so I'm going to do similar to what I did the last time. I'm going to do, should I do white embossing? All right. I feel like this is very simple, but what else could I do to it? What I could do is that would work too. If I just made kind of another layer, so it was like tone on tone. Ooh, or I could do a white layer behind that. Sorry, I'm kind of designing as we go here. I think I'm liking it without this though. But that would look kind of cool. Yeah, okay, so that's what we're gonna do. Sorry, I gotta put this. So, all right, so here's a method for cutting. So we know that 4 1/4 is the width. So if I were to say, want, let's do a 1/4 inch on either side, but then a little bit more, because I want a 1/16 of an inch, so I'm going to do another 1/8 of an inch. So I'm like doubling it, if that makes sense. So now I've taken from 4 1/4, I've got 5/8 I'm going to take off. So now I got to take 5/8 off of 5 1/2. All right, so that would be 4 1/4, 4 7/8. Did anyone follow me on that? It's how I can make it so that it's just the right proportion. See how that worked? All right, so then I'll do the white. So I want that to have a 1/4 of an inch because I made the other one a little bit smaller. So that would be 4 1/4 and then down to 3 3/4. And then So I'm taking 1/2 inch off, so this one's going to be 5. All right. That wasn't too painful. All right. Yeah, that works. That's fun. All right, so then I'll do this really quickly, the white. So this is the Stampin' Buddy. I recommend you do that. I might glue this down just to... by the way, I have my stripes going diagonally from top to left to bottom right. I do that on purpose. It is more harmonious. Let's put it that way. All right, so now I went over this. This helps keep the static off. And then let me stamp with white. And I usually have more ink in the corners of my pad for some reason. All right, so I'll put that right there. And then, so this is craft ink, which is different than the other kinds, but it's sticky just like the Versamark. So you could do this with Versamark if you needed to. All right, and then I'm going to, I already have some. Okay. Let me do this real quick. You can see it melting when it gets bright white. Okay, so, all right, that was not too painful. Now I'm going to attach this. All right. I like to have the silicone mat underneath this so I don't accidentally get everywhere, because it doesn't stick to that mat, but it does stick to the table quite well, and the paper, which is what, you know, what we wanted to, but sometimes we doesn't, you know, best laid plans and all. So, okay, there. Oh, I'm liking that. Still, it's not quite as simple as the last one, but it's not, it should still be relatively clean. Okay. And then, last but not least, let's put this on. This is my sticker I just made. Basically, it has 100% covered there, and then let's put it right. So that's got about 1/8 of an inch all the way around. Okay, and I think I'll leave that. So now I like to put some kind of non paper embellishment. So you could put a bow. Maybe I'll put one right there. Maybe a smaller one actually, because that one seems kind of, although oh, there it is. I was getting low on that, so I had to order more. Okay, so to make a bow, I always make a little loop and wrap it around the tip of my finger. And then I make another loop and put it where my thumb is. And then I grab that on the other side. And then you have to adjust. Okay. Okay, so this is a little bit smaller bow. It almost doesn't even need it. Yeah, almost doesn't need it. So, well, you know what? I'll leave it this. Maybe it would be more of a masculine card if we leave it without the bow. All right, so there's my 7-layer Jello card. All right, we'll call it that. Okay, so that's one card. Trying to go simpler. I was getting, sometimes, you got to know when to stop, and I don't believe I did. All right, here's another one that I was going to use heat embossing. That technique that I just did that. But I just realized that I did not cut out the piece that I wanted to. I mean, I did, but I didn't make a second one to demonstrate. So, oh, here we go. So weird. All right, well, I guess we'll have to do another one. Thanks for sticking with me. I believe that this is 3.5. Yep, 3.5. All right, so let me cut this off. And then 3.5. And then 3.5. Okay, so what I want to do is to use this to first cut out the shape in the center. All right, so unfortunately this is not going to fit this way, so I'm going to have to cut it this way. It's going to make a chunk sound. Now, I have to admit, the two that I like the best are this one and the tulip one. So I just used the tulip one, so I'll use this one. The other one's okay too, but the last one I have makes kind of a hydrangea. All right. Top layer. Rainbow jello dessert. So you call it that? All right. Well, I think both are very descriptive, so I guess we'll go with that. Okay. At least people know what I'm talking about. I haven't seen anyone make that kind of thing in years, really. So, okay, so here, I have cut this out. Okay, so I have this. And so this, I wanted this outside frame to be fancy. So I wanted to give it some texture. Now, I wanted to cut this out first rather than doing the embossing folder and then cutting out, because that would squash it flat. So you need to do anything that has dimension second, if that makes sense, hopefully. So I've cut this out. I did all the cutting, and then you do the embossing. Now, unfortunately, the embossing folder that I have to use, well, not unfortunately, because I'm going to do one of those Martha Stewart's where, she puts it in the oven and miraculously, in no time at all, it comes out and it's completely baked. So there we go. So I used Ornate Flowers, which was here on the tip of my... So when I was designing today, I did get a little on the messy side here. But, oh, well, it's this pattern, okay? If you can see that. It's a new one for me. So Oh gosh, I just realized I had plans to use the other one where it's flourish, the flourish one. I love that one. Next time. Okay, so here we go. I have that, and then I have this one. Now I wanted this all popped up. And I could run it through this way like I did on that other one, at least for the flower, but I didn't. So it should be fine. I'm going to put dimensionals, mini dimensionals on that, which I put in a very safe place right here. All right, so I'm going to put that on some of the major ones anyway. This one's going to be another simple one. Hopefully by putting these in the edge, the outside border, it's going to kind of protect it from, if I just had this loose like that, it could be kind of too bendy for it, if that makes too fragile, too close to the edge, it might make it rip or get bent. And that isn't the look I was trying to go for. And you know what else I could do? I could set it up like this, and I could put one right here. Yeah. Genius. Not really. I'm kidding. I don't usually call myself genius, but I think this is a good solution. Keeps it together and lifts it up. 2 in 1. All right. So this is going to be another one of those simple ones. Now, I like this. It's very pretty, but I wanted to do a little bit of bling. So what I did was I ran that through with copper. So this is the 2-inch piece of copper foil. And then it had this little edge that, you know, if you remember on this one, I made white. No, I'm sorry. Oh, the one you haven't seen yet. Anyway, this is what some people would call trash, but I'm going to use it. So it's going to bring a little bit of bling here, and I will glue that on. But it also, it'll bring in balance too. All right, let me glue this on. So this is very, very thin, but this glue is great. It's very sticky. So you got to be really sparing, but a little bit goes a long way. And hopefully you can see Oh, Nancy, I think I forgot to reply about the chair. My chair keeps falling down, but I like the padding on it though. So what I'm thinking about is I have another chair that is not so great in the barn. So I'm thinking maybe I could put my chair keeps, the hydraulic part keeps falling, like I sit there and then and I end up being like really short. So I might see if I can switch that with the chair in the barn that's not in good shape for different reasons. So okay, put that right there. Ooh, I'm liking that. I hope you're liking that too. Boom. Okay, now I wanted to bring in that little, the center. So I have, these are brush metallic adhesive backed dots, which I really like. So, all right, we're going to use the pin because I'm not sure what happened to my take your pick. So this little one right here is going to go right there in the center. So pretty. All right, and that's not all. Now I'm going to do a little bit of heat embossing, as I mentioned. I'm gonna try to stamp it and then move this because I don't want the heat to affect the adhesive there. So, but I did use my embossing buddy, and then I'm going to use this one. You Are So Worth Celebrating. Okay, and I'm going to use Versamark because I'm going to use copper because that's where the balance comes in. I have copper there, and then I'll have copper words. All right, so here's my Versamark. And of course you could do any words here, but these are some that come with the set. All right, so let's see, maybe stand up. I think I should have done it a little lower, but that's okay. All right, and then let's take that off. Now I have this, I hope it's a little on the small side. Maybe I need to get a bigger container. Actually, I have one that's, yep, I got one. The Recycle Queen has everything. So here we go. A different kind of, little bit bigger container. All right, so here, and then we're going to get the lid on before I dump it. Okay, and get the rest. Okay, and now it's so fun to see that melt, isn't it? And I love that there's a shine to it now, and there's a texture too. It's a little extra effort, but it's worth it. All right. And here we go. This is another simple one. So let me take these off. So now you can say you were there when I figured this out with the corners. Sometimes necessity is the mother of, isn't there that something? Necessity is the mother of something. Or father of, I don't know. I wish my brain wasn't so sieve-like sometimes. All right, so I used to be really good with the trivia. I was in Quiz Bowl, and I could have been an academic challenge if I wasn't a sophomore when our team went. So we had people who were older and more seniority at the time. But anyway, I did get to be on a radio show, and as we won it. Whiz Kids, and we won it. So, all right, so there's my second relatively simple stamping. All right, and without further ado, the last one, because I only have 15 minutes. This one is slightly more complicated, but maybe it won't be so bad. All right. Oh, there's my ornate folder. Of course, here we go. So this is the one that I was trying to do with the pink, the flamingo. All right, so here's all my pieces parts. This is really pretty, but it's a little more complicated. All right, so let's see. Yeah, I'm going to attach this. So this is that In Good Taste paper. I really like this one. It's one of my favorite patterns. I think it's because it's like marble. Smooth. You can kind of feel it, right? But then it's got texture. And of course, oh wait, I want to using glue when I just used seal. Well, I just did, not just, I guess that was been 2 years maybe, did the tiling of my laundry room floor, my cinema floor, to look like brick. And I didn't do it the chevron, what is this called? I think there's a name for that. But anyway, I liked it. So, and it's gray. So, but I did very vanilla behind it. And what I'm going to do this is, I'm going to leave this as another, this is the 2 inches one that has a very small border. All right, so I'm going to do this hyacinth one. I'm going to move this to the side. So here is my mini cut and emboss. And okay, so I'm going to layer this up. So I'm going to first run this through with smoky slate, because that is what the outside of this is. So again, balance, bringing that color back in. Invention is the invention of, oh, wait. So what was it? Necessity is the mother of invention? Is that what you're saying? That could be. All right, so I just want this one. Get all these little pieces parts and dump those in recycling. All right. Okay, so then I also want to run, now I want this, the leaves to be green. So I'm using this piece of patterned paper, and it actually comes from Artistic Expressions in Art, something. I should know these better, I know. So I really just want I don't want the gold on this one, because I don't know that that would go so well with the gray. But I have this nice big area there. I think that I can avoid the green, the gold. Okay, so I will run that through. Ah, necessity is the mother of invention. So I was close. Thank you for your help on that one. Okay, so another one of these with lots of little extra parts. Okay, so I'm going to dump those. And get this pop out. There we go. Okay, so I don't want the edge though. Oh man, I got really close there with the gold. Yikes. So what I want to do is trim that. I'll trim it up here. Now this isn't going to matter so much that the flowers are, because I'm going to cover those up. And then last. All right, so I have this I could use for something else, but basically I'm going to glue that on here. Okay, and I don't know. think that would look better without the gold glowing there. Okay, so now I need, and then I also need the flowers. So I already ran some of them. I needed 10 for this. But what I have is this, there's a separate die, whoops, for flowers. It looks like that. Okay, so I've already run a bunch through, but this is how I did it. I used another scrap of paper that had that pink flower. So I'm going to put that, oops, I need that one. I'm going to put this right there. And put the lid on. And make a few more. And I want them to be kind of mixture modeled, you know. Hydrangeas have multiple tiny blooms on them, and they are every which way, and so I thought this would be a good way to kind of show kind of an illusion of light, I guess, hitting it. Okay, so that's how I did that. I have all these pieces and I'm going to glue them. Now I also, here, let me do this, you will understand. So I'm going to glue, you know what, I might do this on here, just in case I mess up. All right, so just a tiny bit there. Take this. So this is almost like paper piecing. That's another technique. But it's not, because I'm stamping, I would be stamping it and I'm just really cutting it out here. All right, so now I have the leaves, and don't they look nice with a different kind of swirl, different textures and all that. All right, so now I want to add the flowers. I'm getting that ready. So I guess now I do need the here's the take tool. So I'm using the putty on the end to help pick it up. So you can take, I'm gonna get that thing out of the center. All right. All right, so then I can put that and then just place it there. I can take this. See how easy that is? Instead of trying to manipulate teensy tiny things. You got to do this before the glue dries, though. That's probably the hardest part. All right, and then this one. Now, that's all well and good, but that doesn't look like a hydrangea. At least it's like half of a hydrangea, maybe. So what I want to do is I'm going to have something behind it. Oh, wait, I want to glue this on here. Should do that first. Like I said, a little bit goes a long way. All right, so that's going to have a little 1/16 of an inch border. So that gives us a little bit more to glue those little blossoms to, but I need it a little bit higher than what it is. Okay, so I'm going to glue this right here. Okay, so that's going to be, it's going to help give that something else to stick to. So, all right, so let's put one here, here, and here. And then this. And Okay, now I've got these I can put in the middle. All right, so let's see. Let's put one there, there, and there. I'm gonna put that one there just so that okay, and then this. So that would probably be a good one to pop up maybe, but I'm just gonna try to glue those all down. All right, so now that looks more like a hydrangea that I am familiar with anyway. Okay, so then I'm going to put these on here. I'm going to put one to support that whole extra area. Okay. I'm getting close to 9 o'clock, aren't I? 3 minutes to go. All right, so here we go. Right there. And then for the words, I'm going to use the words that came with the stamp set. Cool, but good things come with. So good things grow like our friendship. So one will go on the front and one will go on the inside. I'm going to use this, what's this called? Shaded Spruce, because that's generally that color. And then I have, so I'm hoping this one works. If I screw up, I got another piece, but this is the exact same width as the thing here. So, oh my God, I couldn't have done that better if I tried. Nice. Okay, so that's going to go here. And now the next thing, I'm going to smear it or something like that. I'm going to put a runner of this on it. And then I'm going to put, so this is shimmer ribbon that I don't know where the piece that I cut went, but I'm going to cut another one. Can you see? Yep. Okay, sorry about my little alarm. All right, so here I'm going to cut this. The way I do this, I'm almost done here. So I'm going to fold that in half and then I cut from the inside. And that makes that little tail. Okay, I'll do that same thing on this end. So, there. Okay, so that's going to go here. Oh, it's almost too big. So let me cut it at least 1/4 inch off there. Okay, that should be better. Okay, so this is granite gray shimmer ribbon. And I wanted a little bit of sparkle. All right, so that isn't a lot of sparkle, you know, but when I'm going to add some other sparkle in a different way to the flowers, I'm going to pop this up just like the other one so that it's all on the same level. So you see, this one's a little more complicated, but not horrendously so. Here we bring this back, and then this is going to go right there. Okay, and then the inside, oh, I already closed it, but like our friendship. There. Okay. All right, so these are, let me move this stuff a little out of the way. All right, so these are the cards that I made today. Very different, and yet, again, all using the same dies out of the bundle, and the words from the stamp set. So, yeah, I hope you like this, and I tried to be a little more simple. These are, like I said, really lend themselves to simple cards, and yet they're fancy. I hope they're on the elegant side, right? All right, so I hope everyone has a wonderful night. I appreciate you coming and watching, and even if you're watching this later, I appreciate you sticking with us. Hopefully you like these and you learned something, and that you'll come back next week, next Tuesday. And again, if you're interested in any of these supplies, they are on sale right now for 20% off. And you can go to youcanstamp.com, and in the upper right-hand corner, there's a box to click that takes you right to the online store. If your interest is 24/7 open, and if you're spending under $150, use this host code. So I appreciate that. Any help, every little bit helps. So, all right, and I'm going to be switching this relatively soon. So stay tuned. All right. Well, thanks again, and take care. Bye.